Did I scare you? Do you need some Christmas cards ASAP? Did you forget to make some or did you get behind with your life? That's okay. This video is for you. I'm going to show you 5 quick and easy Christmas cards that you can bang out in 15 minutes or less today on the video. So are you ready? I wish I had me a little Santa hat. I don't know where it is, but I used to have a little Santa hat and I was going to wear it for you. But instead I decided to scream at you, scare you, so you pay attention to me. Did it work?
Before I dive into today's video, I want to thank Craftsy for sponsoring my video today, and they're offering the first 1,000 of you a whole year of premium membership for just $1.49. Seriously. So Craftsy is an online hub for all things creative. So Craftsy has over 2,000 classes across 20 categories. There's something out there for everyone, no matter what you're into. From cooking to knitting to cookie baking. Look at this. I just put in Christmas and look at these cute cookies. Oh, if I could only learn how to do that and not eat them, that would be fabulous. Handmade crafts, paper crafts, how to make sourdough bread, I bet you's in there. Woodworking, painting, I mean, the whole shebang. So at the time of this filming, it's winter. So I was like, I'm going to type in, see what kind of plants I can plant in the winter. And look, a bunch of stuff came up, a bunch of classes. So I can have me a nice winter landscape just by going to Craftsy and trying to figure stuff out. And I can cook things and add in meals. So it's fabulous, fabulous, fabulous. So don't miss out on this deal. Use my link below and be one of the first 1,000 people to get a full year of Craftsy Premium for just $1.49. Ha! Hello. Let's start with Emboss Resist. So I'm using my Misty stamping tool and I'm putting some white cardstock in it. I have a waffle flower grip mat in the Misty so it holds everything in place. Then I'll grab a stamp set with the big, huge focal image is probably key to this particular design. And I'm going to go ahead and ink it up with some Wow embossing ink. That is an embossing ink that embossing powder will stick to, and then we're going to heat set that. So it actually goes on completely clear, so you can't really see what I did there, but don't worry, it's going to be magic. I'm going to sprinkle on some Wow white embossing powder, super fine white embossing powder, and I pulled that little thing out of the trash can so I could use it as a funnel. Use your trash, people. Always about using the trash. Then I'll go ahead, sprinkle on the powder, get rid of the excess, and heat emboss it. And you still can't see squat. But here's where the magic comes in. So I'm going to use these colors, Peppermint Scrub, Sea Glass, Sparkling Berry, Seafoam, and Cove Blue for my colors. Use whatever colors you want. But we're going to go ahead and do some basic ink blending right over the top of that card. And this is a very simple card. You can mass produce it. You can change up the colors. If you want to just go on with watercolor, you can use whatever, color medium of your choice. I'm just going to use inks here. But if you decide to do watercolor, just make sure you follow these same steps, but do it on watercolor cardstock instead of regular cardstock. And then I'll just ink blend on the colors. I'm making sure to choose colors that when they overlap, it turns into a pretty color. I don't want any muddy colors on my Christmas card. All right, so that's it. That's it. I did some basic ink blending. Let me clear up my workspace real quick. And then what I do is I mist a little bit of water just from far away. This is not watercolor cardstock, so you can't add a lot of water to it or your paper will pill, but give it a little mist. It moves all those colors around and just kind of makes them blend a little bit better. I'll just dry it with my heat tool. This is a stamp set that I've already stamped off camera and then just cut up all the strips so I can just reach in there. And then I'm just going to go ahead and press that little strip of paper onto my ink pad. And at first I'm like, oh crap, now I can't read even the words. It's too dark, but you got to let it dry. Inks typically go on darker, but dry lighter. So it dries and now it's this beautiful color. And I'm going to go ahead and use my favorite Bearly Art glue, my favorite liquid glue of all times. I talk about it in almost every video because it's really the only glue I use. And I'll go ahead and put that down. Then I got a little blending pen. I'm just going to take that deeper green color just to add to the tires and check it out. Check it out. Done. This card is done. So you can mass produce this card super easily if you want to. Cut all your strips at one time and it'll make the process go by a little bit faster. All right, next up is ink smooshing. Smoosh, smush, smush. I love saying that. Here's a color wheel I made, and I do have a video on how to make your own color wheel, and I'll link it in the description. But the colors that sit across from each other on the color wheel do not mix well. The colors that sit next to each other on the color wheel do look good together. So when I kept that in mind, I decided to go with these two colors right here because these two colors are going to form a purple when they overlap. And I am using watercolor cardstock here because I'm using a lot of water. And then I spray the cardstock first, and then I just start smush, 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 pressing it into my card panel. And that's all I do. Now you can actually make this on plastic, like you can smush your colors onto plastic and then you can actually see what you're doing by smushing the plastic onto the card panel. But I don't like to do that. I like to be surprised, and that's why I did it that way. I love the color, the purple. The purple, that the pink and blue mixed together is so pretty. I love all the drip marks. I love all the texture, so I just left it like that. I zapped it with my heat tool so I could finish the video, but you could just let it dry naturally as well, whatever floats your boat. All right, now I need to cut a couple of images, and this is a wonderful stamp set where I have the coordinating dies. So I'm gonna go ahead and place all these different images onto cardstock, and then I'm gonna go ahead and ink it up, and then I'll be able to use these images on the rest of the cards. So I just kind of figure out what's going to fit. I actually go into a couple of different stamp sets. This is another way to mass produce. Do all your stamping at one time. Do all your die cutting at one time. Do all your sentiment stamping and cutting up the strips at one time. And then you'll have all those things you can easily reach for to assemble your card. So again, I'm using my Misty stamping tool. This platform is fabulous for so many techniques. This is one of them. And then I'll go in and just use different color inks. So I'm going to keep this in the video because I want to show you a couple little tricks here when I'm inking up stuff. I don't have any mini inks. I like the full-size pads. So I'm going to go ahead and ink that up, but then I'm going to take my cloth and just kind of dab away some of that harsh line that you saw right there. And then I'll go ahead and ink up some other things. Another technique you can do with the Misty tool is double stamping, or if you don't get your ink or your stamp inked up so great, you can go ahead and restamp it as long as you don't move your paper and the stamps. As long as all that's in place, you can get perfect placement every time. You can get perfect inking every time. So here I am just pressing down, check it out, pretty, pretty, pretty. And then I decided to go in with the pink. And again, I didn't move the paper, I didn't move the stamp, so I can just go in and continue to restamp as I see fit. See, I love this little guy. He's so cute. And I put a Harry Potter washi tape around the edges there. That's that gold washi tape. That's Harry Potter themed because I love Harry Potter. So now I've got those images. I went ahead and die cut them with a coordinating die, and then we can go ahead and finish off this particular card here. I never go in with any design in mind. It just comes to me as I create. I'm a very minimalist designer, I would say. Also, I keep things fun and light and stress-free, so I don't like to, stress myself out by sticking to a sketch. I'm just going to do what I want to do. And in this case, I decided to bring in two different stamp sets because I wanted something long to go under the short sentiment, so I'm just kind of building my own thing. I thought it would look better that way. So I have the Merry Christmas, that stacked sentiment, and then I have a one-liner underneath it, and I think it looks pretty. And I just put those die cuts there for placement on where I was going to stamp my sentiment. So I'm going to stamp my sentiment. Usually I always stamp my sentiment in like a black or a gray or something like that because you need to be able to read the sentiments. I'm getting older and I need to be able to read what I'm doing. So that's what I did. Then I'm going to go ahead and go glue these down. Now you can also pop these up with some foam dots if you want to. It's completely up to you. And again, this is another thing that you can quickly put together if you do all of your stamping and all of your die cutting at one time. Then you can do all of your smushed panels at one time. Do whatever you want, but there's definitely a way to mass produce all of these designs if you would like. So the purpose of this video is 5 easy Christmas cards you can make in under 15 minutes. And we're doing it, guys. We're doing it. We're doing it. None of these cards take longer than a couple of minutes. Isn't this one cute? I think it's so cute with the little sweater and gloves and hat. Anyway, you can put the hat over the sweater. You can do whatever you want. But anyway, I thought it was cool. It filled out the card nicely. And all these designs I'm making today are postal friendly. No extra postage needed. Now, this is super cool. This is a layered stencil. This is one thing I did buy. Usually I just use stuff that I have. But I saw this. This is from the Ton. And it's a layering stencil, and it comes, or it doesn't come with, you have to buy it separately. It has a little die that goes with it, and it's super cool. So I went ahead and already die cut the die, and I am spraying pixie spray on the back of all of my stencils. That is pixie spray. I've had it for years. It's fantastic, and it just holds everything in place. Now, this is going to be a magical stencil because you really have no idea what it was because I didn't show you the finished design at first. So this is a 5-step layering stencil. It does come with directions and suggested colors, but once you do the stencil one time, you'll know exactly what to do, and you can change up all the colors, and it's super fun, and I'm using my own colors anyway. So I'm going in and just using, these are the little Altenew blending brushes. I'm not married to particular blending brushes. I have tons and tons and tons of them. These are my favorite for little fine details like that. So like, what is that? Can you even tell? No. So let's add on the second layer. And that pixie sprays easily. The thing sticks together. It stays in place. No tape, no magnets, no weird stuff, no stencil shifting and you messing up your card. I love this stuff. And it lasts forever. My God, I've had that for like 3 or 4 years. So anyway, going in, blending in more stuff. Have no idea what it is. This is a magic. This is a magical card that we're making. And then I just clean off my blending brushes on that microfiber cloth. That is very well loved. All right, what do you see here? Can you see anything yet? Do you see what's forming? I think maybe it's starting to come into light, but I'm not sure. So let's go in with the next layer. So you can see those are houses, right? So things are starting to come together. Just going in with different colors. I say be fun with your colors. You don't have to be traditional with reds and greens and blues and pinks for Christmas. Do whatever you want. Do whatever floats your boat. You see that? Can you see? Yes, you see what's coming. You can see that that's Santa Claus. You can see it, right? And I had to get the additional die because it just made it all cute. It looks like little postage stamps. But it's not necessary. You don't have to have it. But I liked how it came together. So anyway, going in with the gray. Yes. You see what's coming now. We got to add Santa's eyes. We got to add the reindeer in the sky. We got to add the moon. We got to add the finishing touches. But when you do, this is the coolest thing ever. I love it. Look at that. Look, it is just alive. It is alive on the paper saying hi. So super fun and amazing to create and very easy because you're just ink blending through a stencil, right? You're an artist. You made that. All right, number 4 is the die cut focal point. So if you have any mirrored cardstock, metallic cardstock, any specialty cardstock with shine, that's what you can use as your card base. I have these Lisa Horton interference inks that I picked up several months ago, never used them. So I know that they have shine in them. So I thought this would be a good opportunity to try them out. So I'm just swinking on some to a piece of cardstock. And they have this metallic shine to them. And I'll go ahead, they're wet there, so I'll go ahead and dry them. But they do leave this like metallic, like streaky gold shine. It's very interesting. And you can really capture it in the light. So that's another option because the key to this card design is the background and then you're just slapping on a die cut right over the top. So you can use word dies or if you have images dies, just a big focal point of some kind and you glue it down and that's your card. Like it's just that easy. So I have these that I cut last year probably. They're still left over, ho, ho, ho. And that's it. So I was able to create 2 cards there. So that's just with some specialty cardstock. That's all that is. And then the next one is where I put a ho-ho onto some of that inked up cardstock. Now you can also use heat embossing. So you can go ahead and ink up an entire card panel with embossing ink and sprinkle on some embossing powder and create your own that way. It's completely up to you. But easy, easy design. Okay, the last thing I have to share with you today, the 5th design is just a simple stamped pattern. So I'm going to use all these images from the stamp set, the 2 that I've been using in the whole video, and I'll link again everything that I have if it's still available down in the description below. And I'm just putting them onto some acrylic blocks. Now I'm putting them onto both sides of the acrylic block because I want to be able to use all the images. So you can use both sides of your acrylic block to go ahead and mount your stamps. I'm not using my Misty stamping tool because I'm stamping in just an unusual pattern. I'm just kind of winging it. And I'm going to keep using those interference inks because I already have them out. And then I'll just go ahead and ink everything up. And I'm just creating my own pattern paper is basically what you're doing here with just some of the images from your stamp sets. And this is just fun. If you've got kids, you can have them just stamp some stuff all over the backgrounds and you're creating your own patterned paper right here. So note, use both sides of your acrylic block, especially if you don't have a lot, and you can really quickly, very easily create these backgrounds like in no time at all. And that's it. That's it. You've created your own pattern paper. Super duper easy. Bada bang, bada boom. I haven't said that this whole video yet, have I? Bada bang, bada boom. All right, then I just rinsed those stamps off under some water. That's all I did. And that is it. Easy peasy. Cleaned right up. Got a cute pattern paper background, and this sentiment says Christmas calories don't count. And that is what I'm giving to you for free today. I have a holiday sentiments download just for you for hanging with me through this whole entire video. You can grab it at laurelbeard.org/holiday sentiments. And it has all these sentiments that you can print onto white cardstock, and you get these cute black and white sentiments. So I love it. And they're all fun and punny and cute, and I just had to share it with you all. So 5 holiday card designs that you can make in under 15 minutes. If you need some last minute holiday cards, these are the ones. Or if you don't, save these designs for next year. They're easy to mass produce, they're fun to make, and your recipients will love them.